Just like to say a few words with sadness. I last Sunday he was buried. Patrick Joseph Anthony Smith. I always like giving people their full names. He was known as PJ effectively, but PJ was a very decent man. I knew him as a mechanic. In when I was in Northern Ireland, I used to go to PJ down in Dan Gregory's garage. He worked from there. He had his own business. Very effective man, and wasn't a robber or anything. You know what I mean? I speak like uh, President Trump to be. I like saying what you say. I don't like using a lot of fancy terms, which I can use because I was 8 years at university. But I don't want to start baffling people. I like to be down to earth. That's what people says to me. You're very down to earth. Yes, I am. And I like people that's down to earth. And there's all different types of sins everyone has, and we shouldn't throw stones at anybody. But I have to say about PJ, I thought he was a great man. Now, like anyone else, he wouldn't, he'd have his faults. I suppose we all have our faults. Every one of us looking at this tonight will have our faults. We don't live in the real world, but I put my faith and trust in Jesus Christ. That's why I pray directly. And I wouldn't be insulted the relationship I have because I do healing. It's been put into me, and it does work. Most cases, it's a power I've been given, and I do not. It come from Jesus Christ, and I suppose to my background was something to Father Peter McBurry. Peter lives in Dublin. His father was a GP, uh, and his mother was a convert like my own mother, and she was a nurse. So Peter got his faith from his mother, and I would have got my faith from my mother more than my father, because she'd be giving out about the speed he tried to say the rosary, and this thing was a motorbike race. That's the way the people did it years ago. It's not for me to judge anybody, because I get on maybe better with my father. He was easier to get on with. However, PJ was an easy man to get on with too, and he wouldn't stand at his toe. He wouldn't stand for nonsense. A lovely man, a nice man. I'm not that way inclined if you're thinking. A lovely person. And his wife was lovely, Vera. And I'll never forget the last day I spoke to Vera. I was coming from the area. She said to come in the house for a drop a day. So I knew her dances and all years ago. And by God, I didn't. And maybe I was sorry I didn't go in with her, because I was only back from college at the time, not too long, you know. So she was a very nice person, a lovely girl actually. I used to dance her in Cooley Hall, or the different dances, I give her a dance. It was a done thing in those days. So PJ now I hope is in heaven with Vera, because he wouldn't have done much wrong. Like anything that would be minor, minute, and he wouldn't be responsible for it. Because if we lose our temper, we're insane for a short while, medical people tells us. So let's forget about hell. Father Peter says that, McBurry. We've been on a meeting one night and he was talking. He'd know me from the drug task force, and I'd meet him a lot of times over the period. And Peter dressed like himself, he would eating the clothes on him, and he wouldn't want anything fancy, but he was a lovely man and a Uri man. In fact, I used to get me dinner in the. I might be going to Peter Smith, and you could go up. It wasn't expensive in the catering college. I'd be surprised at the rank of people who'd be there getting the dinners. I remember when I went first, I was ashamed to go in. And people would have went with me from, lived up beside St. Bridget's there, like around that area. I would have taken them with me to go for the dinner, and we enjoyed it. But Peter Smith, great memories of Peter, and he was a great man, and he loved a bit of the crack, a bit of banter and chat. But he kept going to work, he wouldn't hold him back. So I just say, I'd be happy to say that PJ is likely in heaven, and maybe should be declared a saint, but that's going too far, because I think we should always leave that to God. If I was the Pope, I wouldn't be making people saints no more than he's making Monsignors at the moment, because I feel that we leave all that to God. We shouldn't be telling God, like the born again Christians, as they call themselves, say, Oh, we're saved, we're saved. No, 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 no. You don't tell God. Be humble. Sit down the back at the church, which I like doing. If I'm at a function, you'd be asked up. And if you want to go up, you go up. You don't want to go up if necessary, unnecessary. So, PJ, humble man, and may rest in peace on Omeath. God bless you all. I just say eternal rest, grant to PJ, Patrick Joseph Anthony Smith, and may his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen. In nomine Ar, agus in Vic, agus in Spirit Nave. Amen. God bless all.